Hello and welcome to A Plus Learning Academy. I'm Mr. Vargas. I will be your students, history and theater teacher for the next year and hopefully many years to follow. Next slide, I'll go over my agenda, but I'm super excited here. Thank you so much for being here. I'll go over all about myself, my expectations, and how to communicate with me, and lots of other fun, interesting facts. Once again, thank you so much for coming. I got a very simple agenda here for everybody. Basically, I'm going to tell you all about myself, go over just a couple expectations. Lastly, I'll just tell you how to get a hold of me and how I expect to contact all of you, and open it up for questions at the end. If you noticed on the right there, it says never stop learning. I am a firm believer in lifelong learning. Um, and I hope to instill that same level of learning in all the students here. My teaching background. I taught 5 years for the U.S. Army, taught advanced leadership school, senior leadership school, and I also worked as a course manager and a director of instruction. Also for grades 6 through 12, I taught U.S. history, world history, civics, theater, and government. I taught at the Live Oak Christian School, as well as Cambridge Prep Academy, and even at the Columbia Correctional Facility, where I helped many, many inmates get their GEDs and kind of break the cycle of going to prison over and over again. Sort of fun fact about me is I've been a vegetarian for over 21 years. However, I do love Thai food, especially red curry. And I absolutely love cheese pizza. Stuffed crust pizza from Pizza Hut is my favorite. Actually, when I was a little boy, I used to get free pan pizzas from Pizza Hut for just reading books, one of my favorite programs of all time. Never stop learning because life never stops teaching. My academic background. I do have a bachelor's of art and theater from Barry University. I have a master's in education, a master's in history. I have a graduate certificate in middle grade, graduate certificate in educational leadership, an executive certificate in U.S. history, and an EDS in curriculum and instruction. And I plan to keep learning and never stop. And I kind of expect of the students too, right? We all never stop learning. Well, because life never stops teaching. And I have been married for 12 years. I have a wife, a 6 year old, and a 4-month-year-old girl. I love doing stuff every weekend with my family. We love to go hiking or go visit history museums, all types of fun stuff. And as you can see in the picture, this is my family. That's on the left-hand side. That's Elliot, myself, little Evelyn there, and my wife Tova. And when I'm not busy teaching or doing stuff for my family, I'm usually off doing army training. I've been in for 22 years and I don't plan on stopping till they kick me out. I do have deployments, 2 deployments to Afghanistan, and I've done humanitarian missions to Dominican Republic, Haiti, and Honduras. And long time ago, 2002, I joined the Army as a private second class ensign, and I worked my way up all the way to a master sergeant there. And I hope to keep going forward and one day become a sergeant major. These are my hobbies here. I love to dance, kind of old and broken, but I used to be a break dancer. I love to read books about history. However, when I'm not reading books about history, it's all about sci-fi and science books. And absolutely love video games. I don't have so much time to play anymore, but I really want to grow my collection and also research more on video game history. And I absolutely love to dance. I've been dancing probably since I was about 15 or 16 years old. And I'm hoping to start be very involved with the dance club here at school. And as I said earlier, I absolutely love video games. A little hard to see there, but there's the Xbox, the Switch, the GameCube, Nintendo 64, and the mini NES and the mini Super Nintendo. And I hope to get more and more video games, just collect and write about the history of video games. My all-time favorite movie, I think it's the best movie in the world. I'm probably biased, but it is E.T. the Extraterrestrial. You notice my son is named Elliot, and the main character of E.T. is Elliot. E.T., if ever been to Universal, it's my absolutely favorite ride there as well. Right here is just some of my favorite scenes from the movie when they're riding bikes and they fly over the moon. Absolutely love that movie. We talked about all the fun stuff about me. The next couple of slides, I'll just go over my expectations for the students, for the classroom, and for the year. We notice that I have in quotations I statements, as I look at these as kind of contractual agreements, right? Things we all agree to together. However, there are some consequences for not following. I'll get into the next couple slides. All right, my objectives are very simple. I only have three of them, right? Cultivate critical thinking and analysis skills. Obviously, I want to know facts and figures and dates about history. At this level, it's going a little bit beyond that and really using critical thinking analysis. I also want students to grow in three areas, which is cognitive, emotional, and social. And I think all of those help each other in one way or another. And lastly, I want them to use their gifts, their talents, and their abilities, right? All to help them learn and grow. My expectations here, there's five. As you see, this poster is on the wall. I will also have students sign agreements for these rules. We'll send them home and everybody will sign. Once again, they are all I statements. I will follow the listed voice levels. I will follow a list of voice levels for every assignment or activity. Respect everybody. I will treat classmates, teachers, and school property respectfully. Be prepared. Come to class with all necessary materials, completed assignments to include paper, pencil, notebook, and planner. Follow directions and procedures, verbal or written. Expectation that I will listen carefully and follow all instructions given by the teacher. The last one is to stay on task. I will focus on the assigned task and avoid distraction during class time. These are my listed voice level. You will see this posted on the wall. I also put this on my smart board and it changes for every activity we are on, right? So students always know what voice level they should listen to. And I will go through kind of a three-step process if students are not following these voice levels. It all goes back to respect too, right? We can't learn if everybody's talking or disrupting class, right? It's a democratic classroom and every citizen has a right to education. By talking and kind of taking that education away, right? It all comes down to respect and love of learning. So before I send this letter home, I will, if a student is not following the list of voice level, I'll go to their desk and I'll tap on their desk and I will point to the board and put my finger up with the listed voice level. Then I'll go back to the same student and have a talk with them about following listed voice level. And if they continually interrupt my class, I will send this letter home, right? Where they have to explain why they were disrupting class and what we both can do together to help them follow it, right? And this is signed by myself, the student, and the parent guardian, right? And I also want them to focus on how it impacted their learning and also the learning of their peers, right? Because we're all in the classroom together. And this is something I will do the very first week of school, right? We will have what I call a pre-class conference, and it's all about respect. We all get in a circle, we talk one at a time, and we share responses to what respect is. what it looks like. We collaborate on examples and we do small vignettes, right? Then we sign our respect agreements and contracts. And later on throughout the year, anytime we need to go back to this, we will have responsive circles, right? And it's a whole class discussion on why respect matters, right? And occasionally, this doesn't happen a lot. I will need parents to come in and we'll have a sit down if students are not being respectful to each other, and if I have specific instances with, a small group of students disrupting class for everybody. And this is my last section is on communication. Well, I will communicate periodically about the good stuff everybody is doing, right? I don't want this to always just be negative, right? It's about the good stuff they're doing or their stuff we're doing in class, or just reminders about what's due or what's coming up. However, occasionally I will have to communicate if expectations are not being followed. But once again, right, it's to solve problems and think about what we can do together to solve those problems so that everybody can learn in class. And the ways I can communicate with you, and a lot of this is parent choice. So you let me know what works for you. I can direct message from the Schoolworks website, and that can message to your phone or your email or the website itself. I will put stuff on the Remind app about stuff we're doing in class or what's due. Um, Phone call or text to your phone, and that's parent choice. I will occasionally send stuff home about school, class projects, field trips, and occasionally about behavior concerns, right? If I need a letter signed about a student being disruptive in class. However, I do send a letter home. I will follow up with an email and a phone call letting you know you should expect that. All right. And if you have a preferred language other than English, let me know. I'll gladly translate to any language you want if I send information home or even in an email. And this is just an example. I have these in class. You can pick it up or I can email it to you. That's your preferences for how I communicate with you, right? Text, phone call, email, others, such as the Remind app or Schoolworks. And you can also specify what you want updates on and how much, right? Academic goals, behaviors, others. And I'll gladly update you daily, weekly, monthly, or others at your preference. This last one is just for fun, right? I love student-made art and pictures. If they draw me pictures, I will hang them, post them all around my classroom. I love seeing student arts, and they love seeing their art hung up. A lot of my assignments too, right, is where students can draw, color, do art, and be creative. And here is my school contact info. If you need to get hold of me, my school email is there, my office phone, and your Remind app code. I'll send you a sheet home with some information on how to sign up for that, how to download that. And this week, when everybody signs up for Google Classroom, I'll send you the code for those. That way you can track your students' progress on Google Classroom. All that stuff is also put on the Schoolworks website, right? So you have multiple ways to look at your students' work, and I will help you all the way through that if you need help. Um, Thank you all for being here. My next slide is just questions, so please, please, please ask questions, and I will gladly answer. Once again, thank you all for being here. If you have questions, you can ask me now. And if you go home and you say, oh, I should have asked them that question, just email it to me and I'll gladly answer it for you. Once again, thank you for being here with me today and for me taking a little bit of time. I hope you learned a little about me. I hope to learn so much about all of you.